Sonoma County Democratic Party welcomes you to our 33rd annual crab feed. So much has happened since our last crab feed. A global pandemic, the seemingly endless string of mass shootings, the murder of Black persons by our police forces, the horrific acts of hate and violence against our most vulnerable communities, particularly our AAPI, transgender, and homeless brothers and sisters, an insurrection and attempted overthrow of the United States government. But through all of this, you have prevailed. I find my strength in the action you have taken both locally, statewide, nationally, and globally. I am inspired by groups across this county who wrote more than 100,000 postcards to make a difference in the 2020 election. I am inspired by young and old who have spoken out and taken action against racism, misogyny, hate. I am inspired by those of you who ran for office and were elected to local city councils and school boards. I am inspired by you. All of this can seem overwhelming, but you are not alone. As Democrats, we are committed to forming a more perfect union. Our work is never done, but together we can bring about change. We are the party fighting to defend and promote the rights, opportunities, and safety of all Californians. We are the party honoring, celebrating, and supporting California's diversity, including immigrant and indigenous communities, veterans, artists, children, and seniors. We are the party supporting an excellent public education system, empowering our youth to reach their full potential. A universal, single-payer healthcare system, good union jobs, and a secure and peaceful world. We are the party believing in equality, liberty, and justice for all, the right of a woman to choose her own future, the right to fair treatment in the criminal justice system, the right to death with dignity, the right to equal access for those with disabilities, the right to free speech, and the right to live without fear of hate or gun violence. We are the Democratic Party, and we welcome you.
Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. If you are wearing covering, please remove it. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Well, good evening, and again, welcome. Welcome to the Sonoma County Democratic Party Crab Feed. My name's Mike McGuire, and I'm honored to be able to work with you in the state Senate each and every day. You know, nothing is going to stop this crab feed, not even a global pandemic. Today, hundreds of meals were served up at the Luther Burbank Center, and we want to say thank you. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Thank you to our amazing sponsors. And a big thank you to the dozens of volunteers that are making tonight's big show a huge success. Ladies and gentlemen, from our living rooms, cracking our crab, let's give it up to our volunteers, to our sponsors, and to all of our ticket holders. We couldn't do it without you. This is the biggest fundraiser of the year for the Sonoma County Democratic Party, and we are so happy that you're with us tonight. Now, I got to tell you, the Sonoma Democrats, they have a great show planned for us tonight. You're going to hear from the biggest names in politics from throughout the Golden State. Guess what? We're going to be awarding the Young Democrat and the Democrat of the Year in just a few moments. And if you haven't done so, you got to go check out this incredible silent auction that the Sonoma County Democratic Party has put together for us tonight. It's super simple. all you need to do is go to SonomaDemocrats.org and click on the auction link. We need you tonight. Go check out the silent auction right now at SonomaDemocrats.org and click on the auction link. And I got to tell you, the bounty of Sonoma County is waiting for you at the auction website. We got whale watching trips. We have amazing dinners, including a dinner for 8 at Sally Tomatoes out on the patio. We got a Starks dinner for 2, very romantic here on the silent auction website. I saw a Wicked slush gift basket full of sweets. You are going to love it. A Chocolaholics gift basket is on that silent auction. We have, of course, award-winning wine, an instant picnic for 2, and beautiful local art. You got to go to SonomaDemocrats.org, click on that silent auction link. And once you're there, it's super simple to bid. And by the way, bidding will be open until Sunday evening. Once you get to that silent auction website, simply click on the create an account button and follow the prompts. All right. So you're going to go check out the silent auction. I want to end it right here and say this. We need you tonight. We need you. We got several fights in front of us. And that's why we're talking about going to the silent auction website. Let me tell you, the Sonoma Democrats, they went all out like never before in 2020. They led the efforts to elect more Democrats to city councils and school boards than ever before. Sonoma Democrats worked with a progressive coalition, and they led the way. They led the local fight to take back the U.S. Senate, to win Georgia, and to win Arizona. Let's give it up for Sonoma Democrats and our progressive coalition, ladies and gentlemen. Sonoma County volunteers led by Sonoma Democrats literally made tens of thousands of phone calls into Georgia and Arizona. They sent tens of thousands of texts and postcards into battleground states. And I got to tell you, they sent more mail and email to local voters this past year, driving Democratic turnout in Sonoma County. And that's why they need us tonight. We are so grateful. We are so grateful that you're with us. But we need you to go to SonomaDemocrats.org and click on that silent auction link, because the Sonoma Dems, they poured every penny that they had, and it was well worth it. They poured every penny that they had into defeating Donald Trump, to be able to defend our democracy, to be able to win the U.S. Senate, and to be able to turn out Democratic voters. The Sonoma Democrats, they stood strong for our democracy last year. They stood strong. And now we have to stand strong for them this evening. Please go to SonomaDemocrats.org. Check out that silent auction. We have some fights in front of us. We have to beat back this Republican recall of Governor Gavin Newsom, and we have to defend the House of Representatives and keep the U.S. Senate firmly in Democratic hands. All right. Like I said, we're going to hear from the biggest names in California politics. It's amazing. It is a who's who is with us here tonight. We're going to turn the show over in just a moment to the Lieutenant Governor of California. We're going to hear from our controller, Betty Yee, of course, the President of the State Senate, Tony Atkins, the Speaker of the State Assembly, Anthony Rendon, our beloved Congressmen Huffman and Thompson. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go to the video.
Good evening, and thank you for the opportunity to join my colleagues in congratulating you on the occasion of the 33rd Annual Crab Feed. I've heard it's one of the best events in Sonoma County, and I hope to be able to attend in the future.
Hello, Sonoma Democrats. It's great to be together virtually for the Crab Feed. I hope everybody got their packages of crab and is ready for a great celebration.
The Crab Feed is always one of my favorite Democratic events every year, coming together, knowing that we are bonded by our values and bonded by just honoring just so many who have just given so much to our Democratic Party in Sonoma County.
What I love about this event is the unruliness. For the most part, people are just having a great time. And that is just such a wonderful, networking hub of Democratic energy.
I always call it the Sonoma County family reunion because there are people that I only see once a year. And I know I'm going to see them at the craft feed. We know that one day a year, no matter what, except for COVID, we are going to get together.
The crab is great, but Sonoma County Democrats are just fantastic, who've worked just tirelessly over the decades to make sure that we're strong in Sonoma County.
It's unique. There's nothing else like it than the Sonoma County Democratic Party crab feed.
I love the crab feed mostly because it is about community. It is something that is iconic to Sonoma Democrats. So it may be virtual, but it's real.
The crab feed is a 30-year tradition of bringing together Democrats, not just from Sonoma County, not just from the region, but from across the state.
It is a reflection of our community in its diversity, and it celebrates all of the things that make us unique. And we come in every shape, color, size. So where in any other place could you get a snapshot of that than at the crab feed? And I think it's a larger reflection of just how inclusive the Democratic Party in Sonoma County is.
It's a great opportunity to socialize with like-minded Democrats and to hear about and support the great work of our local party.
All you feel is this energy. And yes, part of it is because everybody loves crab. But the main reason is that they're friends, people who've known each other, who've gone walking precincts together and phone banking together, elected leaders, volunteers, everyone together, celebrating this great community that is invested in our democracy.
Wonderful people are there. They make you, I'm an outsider, right? And I've always felt really welcome, and people come up to me and say hi.
I have a place in my heart for it because of the people that I know. It's very community-based, and I'm just looking forward to working with them again.
I just wanted to congratulate Pat Sabo and her team for putting together this event. Enjoy the evening, especially the crowd.
It's my honor. It is my honor, and I apologize for that delay. I apologize. It is my honor to present the Young Democrat of the Year. Elizabeth Escalante is a first-generation API, Asian Pacific Islander. She has been an active Young Democrat since her college years. Elizabeth has been a longtime Democratic activist in the county, volunteering for local campaigns, clubs, and political events while working to build our party's leadership pipeline. She has served as an alternate and full voting member of the Sonoma County Democratic Party Central Committee and is currently the president of the Wine Country Young Democrats, a club she helped found. When not actively engaging in local politics, Elizabeth serves as a middle school special education teacher in Sonoma County. She is a young woman of color who is dedicated to advocating for community. Elizabeth does more than just talk the talk. She walks the walk. It is my honor to present Elizabeth Escalante, Young Democrat of the Year.
Hi, good evening, and what a lovely evening to be sharing this moment with all of you. This recognition is humbly accepted because of the many blessings that have made this possible. Tonight's victory is not just my own, but it is a victory for all Asian American women who were silenced, cast in the shadows of neglect, and who were never considered as anyone's first choice. We show our versatility of the excellence that can be achieved, including being in positions of leadership and having our voices heard at the highest platforms. This extends to all women and people who are marginalized. Listen with an open heart and mind to broaden your perspective to find the potential in every person. Success should not just only be inherited, but it needs to be seen as something that can be achieved by all when given that opportunity to set forth on that path. We must uphold to our democratic values to provide equitable opportunities for all people. Let us recognize the privilege that we have. And use them to speak for those who can't. We can be allies, but let's strive to be accomplices. Let's take action. Continue to uplift the voices of each other as we are all here on the same team and all trying to achieve the same goals. Celebrate our wins, but don't lose sight of the end goal and all the efforts that need to be continued. Black Lives Matter. Raise your voices for Ma'Khia Bryant, Adam Toledo, Dante Wright, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Trayvon Martin, Oscar Grant, Sandra Black, Tamir Rice, and for the too long list of names, and that list of names needs to end. Stop Asian hate. We protect Asian women and the lives of Asian Americans and Pacific Islander people. We are not your fetish or your plaything, and we will fight back. This should be said for all women. Believe women. We are not meant to be silenced. Do us wrong and we will seek justice. Believe and empower survivors of sexual assault. It was never their fault. Enough of this shaming of sex workers. Women are far more than capable of making our own choices. Look to the future, but don't forget what led you there. My story began when immigrants from the Philippines made their way to San Francisco, where a shy, quiet, and often misunderstood little girl was raised. She had dark hair and dark brown eyes, and grew up in a world where blonde hair and blue eyes were more favorable. This little girl was made to speak only English, even being accused of not knowing how to speak English by her white classmates. As she grew up, she was often doubted and could not be seen as someone to be taken seriously. She was too quiet, would put her head down and not complain. She eventually learned that what she wanted to say was not complaining. Her perseverance came through. Now here we are today. How about your story? I want to hear yours.
Ladies and gentlemen, we want to say thank you. We want to say thank you to Elizabeth Escalante. In our living rooms right now, I want everybody to get up on their feet and give her a round of applause. Thank you, Elizabeth, for your amazing work on behalf of the Sonoma County Democratic Party, on behalf of equity, on behalf of women throughout this country. We are so honored, and this is such a well-deserved recognition. One more time, ladies and gentlemen, in our living rooms, give it up to our young Democrat of the Year, Miss Elizabeth Escalante. Thank you so much for being with us, Elizabeth, and thank you for your amazing work. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be bringing back our chairwoman in just a moment, but I am looking at the big board right now, Miss Sabo, and I got to tell you, the bidding is starting to get hot here with the silent auction. All right, so I want to peruse our silent auction. I got our big board right here, Sarge, and here's what we have going. We got a beautiful made with love patriotic quilt. You can't find this anywhere else. Micheline Justman has done herself. It is incredible. It is absolutely beautiful. You got to go check that out at sonomademocrats.org. Click on that silent auction link. Sarge, guess what? You know that I love chocolate. You love chocolate. And we all need more chocolate at this time in the pandemic, and we need a little bit of wine. We got both. We got your chocolate and your wine. It's going to help us get through the rest of this damn pandemic. We all drank a lot during Donald Trump's days. we got to make up for it now. So we got chocolate and wine there for you at the silent auction. We have the dinner. We have a dinner with Jackie. She's the vice mayor of Rohnert Park, an amazing dinner with she and her husband. We got a night out at Stark's for you and your sweetie, a dinner for 8 at Sally Tomatoes, that Coppola picnic basket I'm looking at right now. Bids are coming in for that dinner for 8 and that Coppola picnic basket. Thank you for bidding. If you'd like to make a bid on the silent auction, and we are keeping track of it right now, go to SonomaDemocrats.org, SonomaDemocrats.org. Click on the auction link, and then you are going to be able to bid. All right. I'm going to turn it back over to the hardest working chair of any Democratic Party in the state of California. Through thick and thin, Pat Sabo has been there for us. She led the effort locally to be able to boot out Donald Trump. She led the effort locally to be able to elect more Democrats to city councils and school boards than ever before. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Miss Pat Sabo, our party chair.
It is my honor to interview the first of our keynote speakers. We are blessed in Sonoma County by 2 fantastic congressmen. Congressman Huffman is a tremendous advocate for the environment. It is my pleasure to introduce our first keynote speaker, Congressman Jared Huffman.
Hello, Sonoma Democrats. I miss being with you in person for this year's crab feed, but from our respective locations, let us toast to this being the last virtual event of any kind. And let me also toast all of you for what you did in the 2020 election. You know how high those stakes were. I think without exaggeration, this was about the heart and soul of our country and maybe even determining whether we would still have a republic. And you came through. And that's why we have President Biden and Vice President Harris. And thankfully, the Democrats of Georgia came through, and we have the United States Senate and a unified Democratic Congress. So this is a heck of a great moment, and I think a cause to appreciate and celebrate what we have done together. What a difference it's making. Just in a few short months, the fact that we've been able to really take bold action to finally control this pandemic and bring the economy back with an American Rescue Plan that is going to be transformative, lifting so many people out of the potential for homelessness and poverty and so much hardship. And we're turning the corner in other ways. We're back in a leadership mode on climate change. Just this week, I stood with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez to reintroduce the Green New Deal resolution. We have a president and a vice president who understand the urgency of this moment and the opportunity in this moment. And they've been so great on how infrastructure and major investments in this transition to clean energy and sequestering of carbon can be a wonderful thing for jobs and for the economy. And we get a chance to push something really historic and transformative through with the leadership of my friend Mike Thompson. We've passed background checks, universal background checks out of the House. We are pushing forward a great piece of legislation that would protect voting rights and shut down this terrible scourge of voter suppression that we're seeing in so many southern states. That also is pending in the Senate. So none of this would be possible if it hadn't been for Democrats just like you coming together and doing what we do so well, winning elections. And last thing I'll mention, another election's just around the corner, folks. I know it would be great to rest and take a breather, but this 2022 midterm is a big, big deal. In the House, if Republicans win just 5 seats, we lose our majority. And all of the good things that we're doing just come to a crashing end. So we can't let that happen. As we celebrate all of the great things we've accomplished together, as I thank you for being such incredible, dedicated Democrats, let's also keep this 2022 midterm cycle in mind and get ready to get to work and do it again, because we're going to need you. Thank you.
Welcome back. Thank you so much, Congressman. Debra Broner has been a stalwart activist with the California Democratic Party as a volunteer for the past 20 years. She is the regional director for the state party representing us here in Sonoma County and 4 additional North Coast counties from the Golden Gate Bridge to the Oregon border. Her experiences include being a club president, a county committee chair, an officer of several statewide caucuses, and an officer of the California Democratic Party. Debra is an active member of the Sonoma County Democratic Party, serving on the county central committee. She helps all of us, whether it be fundraising, helping with local candidates through phone calls to voters, engaging voters and volunteers to help with phone banking, and sending postcards to out-of-district competitive races. Debra is the fountain of information for the local party. If she does not immediately have the answer, she will find it. She is that rare individual who can explain how to do, why it is done, and then actually get involved by doing. She's made our lives richer by offering her vast wealth of experience and knowledge. Each of us is a better Democrat because of Debra Broner. I present the Sonoma County Democrat of the Year, Debra Broner.
Good evening. Thank you for attending the crab feed this year during these challenging times. I want to acknowledge that I reside on Great Nat Rancheria and Southern Pomo land. It is a great honor to be acknowledged for the work that I've done for the Democratic Party. Thank you, Joy Sterling, for the nomination and the Sonoma County Democratic Central Committee for the approval. Thank our chair, Pat Sabo, for the outstanding job she performed under difficult circumstances during the 2020 election cycle. And thank you, Senator McGuire, for trusting me as your representative on the local Democratic Party committee. For the past 20 years, I have started my day focused on what the local, state, or national Democratic Party needs to accomplish. Whether it was running a national phone bank, calling for a local candidate, researching candidates that might need the help of our Sonoma Democrats in competitive districts, or working on the California Democratic Party platform. I have been fortunate that I've had the time to devote to the Democrats at all levels, and that is because of the support system I have at home, my wonderful wife, Aline. 2021 was a year to engage in issues that affect all of us as a society, to work to restore our democracy, to continue to fight for the soul of our nation, and to plan for the 2022 election cycle to keep the House, increase the U.S. Senate, and give President Biden a Congress that cares about and represents all the residents of our great nation. We have a probable fall election instead, where we will need to organize and be ready. If you can, I am asking for your continued support of our local party and the California Democratic Party with a recurring monthly donation, or find an opportunity to make a one-time contribution. Once again, I am honored to receive this award.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is Debra Broner. And I think that we all need to get up in our fancy sweats right now that we are in our living rooms, cracking that crab. Let's give it up for the one and only, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Debra Broner, our Democrat of the Year, everybody. Let me hear you loud and proud coming from our living rooms. Pick up that damn dog in the living room and give him a rough. That is just amazing. Thank you so much, Debra. I got to be honest. Debra Broner is one of the best, and we are so lucky to have her here in Sonoma County and fighting for us in the entire North Coast. Congratulations and well-deserved. All right, so Alan Ramey and I are communicating. Alan is just an amazing member of the Sonoma County Democratic Party. He is helping us track this auction. We got a big board set up. We have hired PricewaterhouseCoopers. It's actually Alan Ramey, keeping track of the auction right now. And I got to tell you, bidding is starting to get hot. So here's what we need you to do. We need you right now. Get those little fingers walking and clicking over to SonomaDemocrats.org. Click on the online auction button. click on that online auction button at sonomademocrats.org and start bidding right now. Bidding is going to be open until Sunday evening. So make sure you go check it out tonight, tomorrow, or Sunday, because I got to tell you, the stakes are so incredibly high. And we have amazing momentum coming over and out of this last election. But we have a Republican recall that is going to be moving forward with Gavin Newsom that we have to beat back. And then we got to save the U.S. Senate and the House of Representatives. You heard Congressman Huffman just five seats away from a Republican majority in the U.S. House of Representatives. We got to organize, we got to mobilize, and we got to raise some money tonight for the Sonoma Democratic Party. So go to sonomademocrats.org. And once you click on that online auction button, you are going to be amazed. All right, I got a pug at home, but a lot of folks have cats. We got a cat basket that is going to blow your mind, including, this is incredible, a $200 Memorial Beach veterinary gift certificate. I can barely say it. I'm so excited. It is going to cover your cat's neutering or spaying. So make sure you get on over there and go check out that cat basket. Okay, teeth whitening. We got your teeth whitening right now at sonomademocrats.org. All right, so watch out. If that's not your jam, we got whale watching. Ladies and gentlemen, Sonoma County is known for some of the best whale watching spots on the planet. We have this incredible whale watching trip right out of Bodega Bay. You got to go to sonomademocrats.org and go check out the whale watching trip. All right, Leslie Graves, who is also behind the scenes tonight, we love our chocolate. So we got a chocolate basket. Am I right, Leslie? She's saying yes. Hell yes. We got your caramels. We got a $20 C's gift certificate. It can buy you some nuts and shoes. That's what I'm saying, party people. All right. We got some Pinot in there as well. We got amazing award-winning wine. That dinner for 8 at Sally Tomatoes, that's really hot right now. So go check out sonomademocrats.org. Click on that online auction. We got a little bit of everything for someone. You got to go help support those Democrats tonight. All right. We told you we got a who's who of Democrats from across the state. Let's check in with our next video and see what they have to say.
My biggest hope for 2021 is that we get people vaccinated, we get our kids back in school, we do everything we can to make up for the learning loss.
The theme of this year's Crab Feed is dream big and act fast. And I think we've got to do that as Democrats here in California.
We thought that we'd have a new year and things would go back to normal or better, but we know normal wasn't so good.
My biggest goal for this year is to get through this pandemic and make sure that people do better when they get on the other side of it.
When we put the pandemic behind us, and we have a lot of work to do, that we need to make sure that we continue working for a more just world.
Whether it's fighting for Medicare for all, whether it's taking on a climate change that we see both here in California and in other parts of the country.
We want to help communities fight the damage from wildfires and climate change.
And we really focus on how we can help small businesses and so many who lost so much during the economic downturn.
By owning the recovery from this terrible pandemic and lifting folks out of such terrible hardship and suffering and getting this economy turned around and really delivering results, we can break the curse of that midterm cycle for the party that, holds all three branches.
Although the June 2022 primary is more than a year away, I really think we can and should take this time to make sure that we lay the groundwork for extending our Democratic supermajorities here in the legislature in Sacramento, as well as making sure that we hold on and even increase our majority in Washington, D.C.
We've got some important fights in 2021.
We will be tested, and we have a pending gubernatorial recall that may be before us sooner than we'd like.
I really think as Democrats, we owe it to Governor Gavin Newsom to stop the Republican recall. This is just an attempt to use COVID to try to get rid of a governor that I believe has our democratic values, and it really is governing for California for all.
The governor has been dealt the worst set of cards you could possibly have been dealt. And we need him to be successful.
You know, Republicans can only win when they game the system. Using low turnout recalls is another form of, I think, voter suppression.
We need to educate our Democrats even on what the recall really means. I think they just think it's just a recall, but, you know, let's remember how Mr. Schwarzenegger got elected.
Our leader, Speaker Nancy Pelosi, is famous for saying, don't agonize, organize. And I think there's a good message in there for all of us. And Sonoma County Democrats do a great job of that already.
I believe that we will be united, and we will do that. But we've got to act quickly in order to make that happen.
From a policy perspective, I'm really looking forward to working on criminal justice reform, housing and homelessness issues, as well as an issue that I know is really important to folks in Sonoma County, which is broadband access for all.
Particularly important in our rural communities and many of our inner city areas, shockingly.
I want to share with you two bills that I really want to pass this year. First is a tax on guns and ammunition, and the second is repeal of the death penalty in California. These are very hard battles. We've got our work cut out for us, but we can get this done this year.
And all of those are the things that we can do, that I can do in the legislature to give people a reason to vote.
We've got to be prepared to win in 2022.
We need to ensure that we get everybody registered to vote, keyed up on these issues, and get ready to defend the seats that we have, win more seats, make sure that we can get closer to that 60 vote number in the Senate.
We have to do everything we can to protect the Biden administration. The 2022 midterms should be the most important midterms for generations to come. If we can focus on that, retaining the strength, growing the strength, the future is extremely bright.
I want to make sure that the California Democratic Party is the strongest party in the country, not just because we're the biggest, but because we're the best, and because we're the ones that really value the lived experiences of all Californians.
We know that we have to beat back any attack on our values and any attack on the progress that we've made, where California can be a place where everyone can succeed and thrive.
And that together we can do it. Together we in California can do anything.
It is a great honor to introduce our second keynote speaker, Congressman Mike Thompson. He is an incredible advocate for sensible gun control. Thank you for representing us. It is my pleasure to introduce Congressman Mike Thompson.
Good evening, Sonoma County Democrats. It's great to join you. I'm sorry that we're having to do it virtually this year. I have so many great memories of the Sonoma crab feed, and I just hate to take a hiatus, but next year we'll be back in person and it'll be even better. Well, thank you very much for doing it again this year, albeit virtually. And what a great title, Dream Big and Act Fast, because that's what Sonoma County Democrats have been doing for a long time. You've been dreaming big and you always act fast. I got to tell you, I owe it to the Sonoma County Democrats for being where I am today. You were so much a part of my political life. We worked so hard together, not only to elect me, but to elect so many other people and to promote and advance good public policy over the years. I'm so proud to be associated with all of you. So again, thank you very much. And a very special thank you to all of the awardees tonight. This is it's a high honor to be recognized by the Sonoma County Democrats. Debra, you are most deserving of your award. You and I go back a long time. We've campaigned in Del Norte County and Humboldt County and Mendocino and Sonoma County. You have just been such an asset to the Democratic Party and to Democrats everywhere. So congratulations and thank you. And Rebecca, congratulations to you also. You know, you've done so much over the years, from your time in the military to your teaching career, and now to be working with the Sonoma County Democrats and to open your home for events for the Sonoma County Democrats. That's going above and beyond. So thank you very much for all that you're doing. And our young Democrat, Elizabeth, congratulations and thank you. Young people are so important to our party, and you've just done a stellar job. And I also want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for your dedication to education. To be a teacher is a big lift. To be a special ed teacher is absolutely over the top. So thank you and congratulations. And to Stephen Gale. Stephen, I don't know anyone who is more deserving of this award than you are. You've worked so hard for the Democratic Party over the years, and this is appropriate recognition. And you know, you and I worked together for a long time, and together we were able to do some great things, not only for Sonoma County and the people in Sonoma County, but some things that'll be everlasting. Public policy that reaches across the United States, and you were a big part of that. So I want to thank you and congratulate you and all the awardees. So thank you all very much and congratulations. And I'm in Washington, D.C., as you can see, with the Capitol behind me, taping this, because by the time I get home, we won't have time to do a message. So I wanted to take the time today, and I thought this was a pretty special place to do it. On the roof of a restaurant in Washington owned by someone from Sonoma County, Charlie Palmer. So it all kind of ties in. And as I say, with our beautiful and iconic Capitol building behind me. And in that building is where we at the House Democrats are acting fast. We're seizing on the dreams that we all share, and we're putting those into policy and moving that policy forward. And look no further than the American Rescue Plan. You know how the Republicans held that up going into the election. They wouldn't do what we needed to do. They wouldn't do it as big as we needed to have it done. They just drug their feet, and right at the end, right at the tail end, they acquiesced, and we did a little bitty package. Well, because of you and the good work that you did to elect Democrats, return Jarrett to the House, return me to the House, and to elect Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, President and Vice President of the United States. You teed us up to be able to come back and do an American Rescue Plan that's worthy of the Americans that we're rescuing. This is funding that helped put shots in people's arms so we could bust the virus and get back to business as normal. And those vaccines are really making a difference, as you know. And in addition to that, putting kids back in school, helping small businesses stay in business and keep their employees employed. All this was just incredibly important. And then the big piece that was so important to Sonoma County, to all the counties in our district, across the state and across the country, is the help for state and local governments. They were on the tip of the spear in this pandemic fight, and by providing them with the resources that they need, we're able to keep people employed, keep the first responders, the healthcare providers, school teachers, and state and local employees, the people that keep the water running and the streets open. This was important work, and we're able to get it done, get it passed, get it through the Senate and on the president's desk for his signature. And the next dreaming big that we're going to do is the infrastructure bill. And as I've said before, this is not your father's infrastructure bill. Sure, there's money for roads and bridges and highways, but This infrastructure bill recognizes that we need to make an investment in the American people, in the American people's future, and in the future of our country. There's transportation dollars in here. There's also expansion of broadband dollars in here. There's housing dollars. My legislation to incentivize moving to renewable energy with climate change just overwhelming us, and we have to look no further than the fires that we've seen every year for as long as we can remember. We need to step up, and we need to make an investment in our environment to ensure that we can help deal with climate change, and that's what my Green Act does, and that's part of this bill. This is going to be a great investment that will put America first and foremost once again in the world. And you know, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention we dreamt big about doing something about gun violence prevention, and we stepped up and we acted fast, and we passed my bill to expand background checks to make sure that people who are criminals or dangerously mentally ill don't have such an easy time getting firearms. This is an important piece of legislation. 90% of the American people support it. The only place it doesn't have bipartisan support is right back here. But we got some bipartisan support. We got it out of the House. It's over in the Senate, and hopefully they'll act fast as well. We're doing a lot of great work for the American people, and it's all because of you. And we can't stop now. You know, the Republicans are making a full-on attack. They think they're going to win back the House. They think they're going to win back the Senate. And then they're going to try and make life miserable for President Biden and Vice President Harris. We can't let that happen. We need to redouble our efforts. We need to make sure we maintain the House. We need to make sure we maintain and grow our majority in the House and maintain and grow our majority in the Senate. We can do it, and we can lead the way right here from Sonoma County. I'll be with you every step of the way. So let's get going. Let's keep dreaming big. Let's keep acting fast. Let's keep elected Democrats, and let's make America the wonderful place that it's always been. And let's make sure that we're strong in Sonoma County. Thank you very much, and enjoy the crab. And I look forward to seeing everybody in person as soon as we possibly can.
Thank you, Congressman. Rebecca Montgomery has lived through decades of change in this country, and by her actions, she exemplifies the adage, think globally, act locally. Becky has broken barriers by serving her country in the Air Force, following up this service by using her presence to further the efforts of women's rights and pushing the barriers on the front lines of the civil rights movement. She is involved in issues ranging from the environment, early childhood education, and engaging and recruiting new and young activists to the Democratic Party. She did not let a global pandemic deter her commitment to the Democratic Party. She hosted weekly virtual parties to make sure the work necessary for victory was done. For these reasons, the Sonoma County Party proudly presents the 2021 Roberta Hollowell Award to Rebecca Montgomery.
Thank you so much. When Susan Adelsa wrote her wonderful email telling me that I was going to be receiving this award, I was amazed, because my feeling is it has been such a privilege to be able to work with so many wonderful, patriotic, dedicated, hardworking people. It's really been exciting. And then to feel like we were contributing to the miracles that that gave us this success during the election. We worked so hard, but there were so many times when it was really up in the air there. We didn't know which way it was going to go. So this has been a wonderful honor. But the biggest honor has been to be able to work with all these fantastic people. all these great patriotic, dedicated, really good-hearted people here in the Sonoma County Democratic Party. Thank you so much.
Sonoma Democrats, you are always the model for high voter turnout. You're always the model for civic engagement. You're always the model for living and speaking about our progressive values.
Sonoma County is definitely a community that gets involved. And I think that politically we need to stay engaged. We need to reach out to people that may not have gotten involved yet. Just because we've won the fight doesn't mean we've won the war. I think Sonoma County's got a lot of challenges, and I think there's a lot of really wonderful, talented people here that maybe haven't gotten involved yet.
I do believe that Sonoma Democrats are more progressive than normal Democrats, I would say. So I am very proud that we have our eyes open to climate change, to racial justice and all these inequities. It's about, I feel like, learning how to act on it now and coming up with a game plan. We are still ruled by a government that is based in systemic racism. So having a social and economic equity commission would help us at a local level discover the things that we need to work on, be specific about it, and take action.
I'd just like to say thank you to the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party has been very, very supportive in the process of making sure that folks like myself, an immigrant from El Salvador, has the ability to actually run for office and win the first time around. And I just want to say thank you for doing what you do and keep fighting the good fight.
What we would hope to do is to bottle up what Sonoma Democrats have and try to spread it around the state. You know, it's about being in the trenches and doing the work.
So I think what's really awesome about the Sonoma County Democratic Party, it's diverse, it's big, it's progressive and boldly progressive, but it's also practical and real because it's rooted in this community. I think our Sonoma Democratic Party feels its power, but also feels its responsibility to get things right.
Sonoma County really stands for so much. I mean, when we think of the beauty, the natural beauty, the incredible culture, a lot of it built around tourism and wine and innovation around agriculture. I know that Sonoma is going to play a very important part in California's recovery.
And so it's also really important to me to value the rural and the agriculture and all of the wonderful things that we have in Northern California, and to bring that and the issues that we have to bear for both the state party and for the national party.
Sonoma County Democrats are on the side of the angels. They understand the importance of public policy. They understand the importance of opportunity, and they know why we have to work so hard to ensure everyone has an opportunity to be the best that they can be and to contribute so much to future generations and to the future of our country. Yeah, we're a special breed.
Sonoma County Democrats continue to show the way, continue to lead the way, and more importantly, do it with the sense of community that has always been so strong in Sonoma County. So thank you, Sonoma County Democrats. I look forward to our work together.
I'd like to conclude our awards presentations tonight with the Trowbridge Award. It is not given annually. It is awarded only when an individual's collective body of work for the Democratic Party must be acknowledged. This year, the Sonoma County Democratic Party is honoring such an individual. Stephen Gale is a more than worthy recipient of this award. He is a lifelong Democrat. He's been a member of the Sonoma County Democratic Central Committee for almost 2 decades. He served as chair of the Sonoma County Democratic Party Central Committee for 2 terms. During his tenure, he turned the county party into a vibrant, relevant political force. His vision of providing a Democratic headquarters in Sonoma County every 2 years has become a powerful tradition. He established the template for how to run a successful, multi-level, countywide political campaign, including a slate card, which reaches every registered Democrat in Sonoma County. When I think of Stephen Gale and what he has contributed to the Sonoma County Democratic Party, I am reminded of the Phoenix Rising. He took an organization which was in the ashes and brought about a symbolic rebirth and renewal of hope and progress. It is with great pride I introduce the Trowbridge Award recipient, Stephen Gale.
Thank you for those kind words, Pat. It's a great honor to accept the Trowbridge Lifetime Achievement Award. I wish to acknowledge my colleagues on this journey who worked together as a team from our successful 2008 Obama coordinated campaign to the election of Joe Biden in 2020. There are too many of you to name everyone here, but you know what you did and what you accomplished as a team. I will recognize some who are no longer with us. The late Bonnie Arthur, who recruited me to be Maria Peluso's alternate when she was party chair, Helen O'Donnell, and Phil Harland. I remember you all fondly. And I wish to acknowledge by name some who are still very much with us. Sherry Barton Ross, who ran the Obama campaign headquarters, Gina Kuklas, Maggie Fishman, and her husband Bill, and Dorothy Battenfeld and her late husband David Grable. I have often described myself as a Democrat without prefix, suffix, or apology, stealing a line from Tip O'Neill. It is our diversity and our commitment to compassionate and thoughtful solutions to difficult social problems that make our party great. And that commitment is needed now more than ever before. We have the honor of leading a local party whose voice is respected by our constituents in the community and also in the state. The Sonoma County Democratic Party will lead the next generation to build a better future for all. I wish to end by again telling you how much this honor means to me. I will never forget this day. Again, thank you very much.
My fellow Democrats out there, thank you so much for joining us. This brings to conclusion our 33rd annual Sonoma County Democratic Crab Feed. Your participation is so greatly appreciated. But before signing off, I do need to acknowledge that we overlooked a $1,500 sponsorship from the Sonoma County Conservation Action. We are so sorry and we apologize. Also, we must acknowledge our pasta king. He has partnered with us for over a decade. We miss you, Art, but your legacy of community involvement lives on. We have so many people to thank, but our hour is up. I must acknowledge and thank Alan Ramey for pulling this off. Alan, this is your success. We are forever indebted to you. Thank you. And good night, Democrats. And on to victory. And we'll just keep making the difference that our country needs. Thank you so much.